Okay, welcome to your fifth CSS and HTML tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be adding CSS styles to HTML link elements. Okay, now I have created a link element on the page here. I've given it an href attribute, which will we will specify a URL. Once a user clicks the link, the URL specified in this specified for the href attribute will be loaded onto the page, but we're going to leave it blank for now. Okay, now let's add in some text into this. We can say this is a link. Okay, Control S to save, and let's preview this in the browser. As you can see here, we have the link here. This is a link. So now let's add some styles to this link. Now we're gonna use the HTML tag name to reference that element on the page. So we're going to say A, referencing the anchor element, the link, and we're going to open and close curly brackets. Now remember, if we use the HTML tag name to reference a link, then all links with the tag A will be referenced, and the styles will be added to all these links as well. But since we have only one link on the page here, we're only going to add style to one element on the page. Okay, so let's put in some decorations. We could say text decoration. Okay, none. This is going to remove the underline from the link. Refresh this. As you can see here, the link underline has been removed. Let's put in some font size. Let's make the font a little bigger. Let's call it 32 pixels. Control S to save, and let's preview it in the browser. As you can see here, the link is a little bigger, and let's give it a different font. We can say font family. Let's say sans serif, and let's fall back to Arial if the browser does not recognize sans serif. Okay, let's Control S to save and preview this. As you can see here, the font has been changed to sans serif. Okay, let's make it a little bold. Let's make the font bolder, so we can say font weight bold. Control S to save. Preview this in the browser. As you can see here, the font weight is bold. Now we can use pseudo-classes to change the styles of the anchor link as well. So we could use A and say a pseudo-class of Hoover. Okay, so once we hover over the link, we can add styles to display on the screen. So we could say, once we hover over the link, let's say we change the color. Okay, the link color to let's say green. Okay, Control S to save, and let's preview this in the browser. Okay, so now once we hover over the link, the color is changed to green. Okay, let's say we could change the active state. So once we click the link, the color is going to change, and then it's going to change back right away from active. Let's say color, we're going to change the color to red. So once we click the link, it's going to change to red and then change back to green again. Control S to save. So once we click the link, you see, as you can see, once we click it, it changes to red. That's using the active pseudo class. Okay, we can say once the link we could change once the link is visited, right? We could say visited. We could change the color to yellow. Now it's automatically going to change the color because we have clicked it, or it's automatically going to change to yellow because we have clicked it already. Okay, so we can say color yellow. Okay, Control S to save, and once we refresh this, as you can see here, it's going to change to yellow, and it's going to stay yellow because we have clicked it already, meaning that it has been visited. Okay, now we can also add styles to this link so that we can change it to look like a button. Okay, so let's Control S. Let's remove those pseudo elements, the pseudo classes, and Control S to save. Put it back to the original link. Okay, and within this we can say we can give it a background color. We're going to change the link to a button, so we're going to give it a background color. Let's give it a background color of blue. Control S. You could, like I've done previously, you can also change this to the hexadecimal notation, or you could use the word blue as well. Okay, so blue. Control S to save. Okay, now the background color has been changed to blue. Let's change the text color. The text color, we could change it to white. We could use the hexadecimal notation 1 2 3 4 5 6 6Fs to represent white. Control S, and the link has been changed. The color of the text has been changed to white. We can also add padding all the way around, padding, right, to make it, give it a little thickness around the text. So we can say padding, let's call it 8px. Control S to save. Preview this in the browser. And as you can see here, the button has been changed to the padding all the way around the button has been changed, has been increased. So the button itself will be increased as well. Okay, we could give it a border. Okay, let's say border 1px solid, and let's call it black 1 2 3. That's the hexadecimal notation for the color black. And okay, as you can see here, we have given it a border of black. Okay, now we can also add CSS3. Now we haven't got into CSS3 as of yet, but I plan to do a lot of tutorials on CSS3. But for the sake of this tutorial, we can add some CSS3 styles to this button right here. We could change the border. Okay, so we could go, we could say border radius. Okay, we could say 8px all the way around. Control S to save, and you see here the border has been changed 8px. Let's make it a little more round. Let's say 10px. Control S to save. Okay, and the border has been changed to 10px. Let's make the thickness of the border a little bigger, 2px, and let's change the color to gray. Okay, Control S to save. Okay, it has been changed. As you can see here, let's make it a little bigger, 4px. Okay, and the border has been changed to gray as well. Okay, we can give it we could give the box a drop shadow as well. Okay, we could say box shadow. We could say 1px all the way around, and let's give it a color of black, just for the sake of simplicity. It's not very pretty, but you know, it's for the tutorial. As you can see here, the border has the box, the shadow around the box has been we have placed a shadow around the box. Okay, so we could also go back to the pseudo elements, and we could say a hover. So once we hover over the link, we can change the color. Let's change the color to once we hover it, let's change it to gray. Background color. Let's change it to gray. Okay, Control S to save. So once we hover over the link, the button we have created, we're going to change the background color to gray as well. We could even add some text to we can add some shadows to the text itself. So we could say text shadow. We can say 1px, let's say 1px black. Control S to save. Okay, as you can see, we added some text, some shadow to the text as well. You can see that the shadow here is black. Okay, so these are some basic styles we can add to an HTML link element. There are many more styles we can add to it, and we will be doing much more in further tutorials. And also we will be covering a lot more CSS3 styles in further tutorials as well. Okay, so this is your fifth CSS and HTML tutorial. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and do ensure that you subscribe and you view further tutorials as well. Thank you.